Okay, back again for another tutorial about maps. Now, in the last tutorial, I was talking about maps like set and get. Before I talk about that stuff, maps are an object that have the ability to contain key value pairs, similar to object literals. If you don't know what an object literal is, let's just show you just a simple thing what object literal is. I'm pretty sure you've seen it before. If you haven't, this is going to be, I wouldn't say it's confusing. It's pretty easy. So object can contain properties and methods. So let's say property is called as, oops, and all I have to do is put colon and put this as a string, and you can also contain methods where this tab F, and it has a function, I don't know, the function, and it can say console.log, I am a function. Now you could do all that, but you can just do maps, and with maps you can set keys and values by doing set, and the first parameter is the key and the second parameter is the value, and then you can do map.get, where all you do is put the value. All you have to do is put the value, and you will return the value, or put the key, I'm sorry, and you will return the value. So let's just put something called to what view this is. I already created a function called view this, and within view this, oops, you'll be able to output the value right into the document. So when I put view this, which is here, you see you output the value into the element that has the ID of view. So I'm down here. So once I retrieve 2, the key 2 is add, and if I do that, what it does is going to output the value, which is probably going to just show a function. Yeah, as you see here, within here it has add, and add what actually has is it's just a function to the add function, and add, it just has two parameters where you add something, and then you use the view this function again to output the value. But that's something else. In any case, we have a lot of key value pairs. I think there's more than five. There's more than five, and one of the methods that you can use is the Map.foreach. So with the Map.foreach function, what you could do is, let's uncomment this out. Similar to arrays, where you can use the for each method, where it has a callback function, and within this callback function you can have at least three parameters. You can have the value, you have the key, and then you can have just the array of the elements all together. Within my for each function, all I'm doing is appending all the values that is within the map. So if I save this and I run it, you're going to see, not only are you going to see the default text, but you're also going to see all the values outprinted. So let's run it. And then not only do you see the default value, which is always going to be there, you also have the appended values underneath. So this is second value, Tony the Tiger. This is Boolean value. This is function key. This is a function that they're outputting. This is null value, and this is a set of numbers. Not only with functions can you accept data types like zeros, strings, booleans, but you also can define like keywords like null and undefined. So right now you already saw an example when I use the method of for each. You can output numbers even if they have a keyword of undefined or null. So that's cool. And I also want to cover a little bit about methods, another method called map.size. Now, similar with a lot of array-like objects, you have the ability to use map.length to see how long the amount of elements are within this container. But if you use map.length right now, let's just do a console log of map.length. Oops. Console log map.length. Just gonna see what happens in the console. You're not gonna see anything, it's just gonna go back to default, but let's look in the console. You get undefined in the console if you don't see it undefined. But the way that you retrieve the or count the total amount of elements or values or keys within the map, you use something else just called map.size. So I save it, I reload it, and there you go. We have about 7. Now, let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, I've counted 8. And the reason why I counted 8 is because one overrides another. If you use the same key a second time, it's going to override or replace the previous value. So, in the first value, I just have the key as 0 and the value as value. But when I have it a second time as the key of 0, I just put second value. That's why when you do the map.function or map.foreach, let's see here, I reload it again so you just can see it again. Ignore the default, but second value just completely replaces the first value of 0 of value. So that's something you should be concerned about if you are going to possibly create another value with the same value. It's going to just override the previous value. So that's all I wanted to talk about. Actually, just wanted to talk about map.size, but I just talked about something else. I think this is still a good tutorial, whatever. So I'm going to end it right here.